Wow, that's a good start. So, in keeping with the theme, our next session we're going to move straight on to is risk perception on COVID-19 in Indonesia this time, particularly during the first stages of the pandemic. The presenter is Mila Tejama, so apologies if I get that name wrong, but she's a lecturer with the University of Indonesia. And as a reminder, please keep those questions coming. For this session, Mila will be answering, responding to those questions as they're coming through. So please get them in as you get them. We'll see you on the other side.
Hello everyone, my name is Mila Tejamaya. I am lecturer at Occupational Health and Safety Department, Faculty of Public Health, Universitas Indonesia. On behalf of our team, I would like to say a huge thank you for giving us the opportunity to present our study in risk perception of COVID-19 in Indonesia during the first stage of pandemic. This study is a collaboration study between Universitas Indonesia, Udayana University, Diponegoro University, and Hasanuddin University. My presentation will be divided into 5 parts as you can see on the screen. As we are all probably aware that we are now facing a global pandemic that requires people to change their behavior by adopting a new normal. According to the health belief model, a people's motivation to adopt health behavior is greatly influenced by their perception regarding the matter. Accurate public perception is very critical in managing public health risk. Therefore, it is important, especially for the government, to examine people's risk perception and people's belief of the extent of the threat and expectation. Before COVID-19, there haven't been many studies regarding risk perception of pandemic issues as compared to environmental risk, for example. But now we are lucky enough to have several studies on people's perception on the pandemic, as you can see on the screen. About COVID-19 in Indonesia, the first and second cases of COVID-19 were officially declared by President Joko Widodo on the 2nd of March 2020. Since then, a website called covid19.go.id has been established by the government as a platform for risk communication. Risk communication mostly cover a warning, emergency about the statistic of COVID-19 in Indonesia, as well as triggering behavioral changes. Main control measures that were recommended by governments were hand sanitizing and staying at home. On the second week of May 2020, we did our study to look at the risk perception of Indonesian citizens in terms of COVID-19 pandemic. Up to May 2020, the most affected provinces by the COVID-19 pandemic were Jakarta, West Java, Central Java, East Java, Bali, Banten, and South Sulawesi or Makassar. Therefore, our study was actually focused on the 7 most affected provinces. We would like to describe the level of knowledge of COVID-19 among Indonesian population, and then source of information that the most accessed by the population, risk perception of COVID-19, risk tolerance of COVID-19, level of anxiety, and also differences in prevalence of perception associated with socio-demographic variables. We did our study by using online survey distributed via WhatsApp, Facebook, and LinkedIn of the investigator. A standard questionnaire on risk perception of an infectious disease outbreak from ICOM was adopted. In this study, we look at several variables divided into independent and dependent variables. In general, we would like to look at the risk perception that consists of newness, threat, severity, infectiousness, contagiousness, total cases, and susceptibility of COVID-19. compared to risk tolerance, which consists of perception on the efficacy and self-efficacy, intention to carry out measures, motivation and hindering factors in the implementation of control measures. We also would like to look at the interaction between risk perception and risk tolerance to actually influence into the extent of anxiety among Indonesian population due to COVID-19. Let me share the result of our study. A total of 1,043 respondents participated in this study from 30 out of 34 provinces in Indonesia. About 90% of our participants, they came from 7 most affected provinces, which were Jakarta, West Java, Central Java, East Java, Bali, Banten, and South Sulawesi. If we look at the socio-demographic characteristic of our respondents, most of our respondents were female in adult age, which is range from 25 to 45 years old. Most of them were married, Muslim, and then work in a private company or as civil servant. They were the holder of bachelor degree and postgraduate degrees. So we can see here that our participant actually a well-educated population. About the experience in contact with COVID-19 patient, about 80% of our participants, they haven't been any contact with COVID-19 patient. However, about 3.6% of our participants, they had previous contact with COVID-19 patient. Majority of our respondents, which was about 70.9%, identified their level of knowledge as average. Online news, social media, and television were the most accessed sources of information regarding COVID-19. Interestingly, about word of mouth, more married respondents included this as source of information than unmarried respondents. In regard to disease background information, most of the respondents, nearly 100% actually, were aware that COVID-19 is a viral disease. About mode of transmission, more than 86%, they agree that saliva droplet and contaminated surfaces are the main mode of transmission of COVID-19. Interestingly, those who had contact with active COVID-19 patients were more likely to perceive food and water as mode of transmission. Moreover, more than 81% of our respondents, they believe that hand sanitizing, physical distancing, wearing a face mask, and staying at home were effective control measures regarding COVID-19. We assess the risk perception of our respondent in regard to newness, severity, infectiousness, contagiousness, seriousness, and total cases of COVID-19. In general, the respondents perceive that COVID-19 is a high-risk disease. Most respondents also perceive that COVID-19 as an emerging disease, very infectious, and the severity range from severe to very severe. About the same number, they agreed that it is a very serious disease. More than 91% of our study population perceived that virus spread rapidly within days to immediate, and also believe that the total number of cases varied between high and very high. The perception of risk tolerance among our study population were examined by looking at their perception on preparedness, ability to control the risk, efficacy, and self-efficacy. As you can see on the screen, that most of our respondents, they believe their readiness in COVID-19 was between unprepared to quite prepared. The ability to control the risk also distributed in the middle, which is fairly able to able. Fortunately, our study population, they believe in the efficacy of control measure and they willing to carry out the measures. Motivating factors are actually crucial to drive the implementation of control measures. As you can see here, that the main motivation of performing control measure because of they are responsible for their own health. They want to prevent spreading of COVID-19 to the people, as well as they trust in the control measures. The most dominant hindering factors, however, is caused by lack of facilities. For example, hard to find hand wash facilities, or they don't have any face mask, followed by peer pressure from those who do not carry out the measures. So here are the association between perception and individual factors. We found that level of anxiety from our study population was about right, appropriate, because they mostly distributed highly in the anxious to quite anxious. Then we conclude that in general, respondents have a good understanding of COVID-19. Online news, social media, and television are the main source of information on COVID-19. After having direct contact with COVID-19 patients, people believe in other modes of transmission, for example, waterborne and foodborne. And in general, we found that people, they perceive that COVID-19 is a high risk. However, they also believe that they are capable of controlling the risk, they are moderately ready to face the risk, and they believe in the efficacy of promoted control measures and willing to implement them. That's why we found that the appropriate level of anxiety due to COVID-19 was found in our study population. So here are references, and thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Mila. Appreciate you sharing the international perspective and reminding us that this is a global issue that we're dealing with. Glad to see that the Indonesian population is actually taking this pretty seriously and not trying to play it down.